And in the wood yard, it's our rescue day. We got Uncle Ben. Somebody called and said they're holding him hostage. Come get him. So I'm going to do it. We're going to put some wood in and go deliver it. Here we go. It's a spectacular day here in the wood yard. There's hardly any wind. The sun is kind of out. It's kind of a hazy day, but it's about 35, 36 degrees. So really nice again. This is probably one of the last days we're going to have where it's going to be above freezing. It's supposed to just continually go downhill for the next week. And eventually our daytime highs are supposed to be maybe double digits over 10 degrees. It's supposed to be a lot of single digits and maybe even some below zero coming, which is great because we've got a sloppy mess here right now. It's been thawing and everywhere you go, it's just greasy. When it thaws like this and it gets muddy, we still have frozen ground underneath, but you get that top layer of about a half an inch to an inch that during the day when the sun is out, it just turns to slop, and I don't really like it. I'd rather have it be a little colder. It's nice for working, but it'd be nice to have it freeze up. So this first delivery is not this wood. It's wood that's over there, but I'm going to load this one first because this is my delivery for the end of the day. The person wants 1 face cord or 1/3 of a cord of cherry. We're going to put it into the trailer here, disconnect the trailer. Then we're going to go load up the truck and I'm going to go deliver that one. It's a long distance delivery, so I like to use the truck so I don't have to pull the trailer all the way down. We're going south about 40 miles and I think I charge 60 bucks for that delivery. And the guy always tips me too. He always gives me an extra 20, so it's kind of nice. So I'm gonna get this loaded up and we're gonna load up the other one and go for a little ride. There it is, 1/3 of a cord or a face cord, if you like to say that, is in the trailer. And I'm gonna park this and then we're gonna take the truck over and load up my first delivery, which is gonna be mixed hardwood, 1 face cord, but I gotta go long distance for that. I just tried contacting my deliveries. One of them got back to me and said, yep, the time is good. The other one, I haven't heard from yet, so it might change. I might do the other one first, but I'm gonna get it loaded. So regardless, I'm good to go. So time to chuck again. There we go, 1/3 of a cord of face cord in the truck. A lot of you that watch the channel know this, but I'm gonna go over some things. I'm gonna go over and talk a little bit about loading a truck safely. Not just in not banging up your truck, but going down the highway, kind of the things that I do. First off, I always try to fill the front first. If you saw that, you noticed the front got filled, because that way, if I was to load up the back first, I'd be throwing wood more towards the front. And I want it to fall this way, not towards the glass, because like those of you that know have been watching the channel, I haven't broke a window ever in my trucks. Been loading wood for 55 years and the truck's never broke a window. So what I do when I throw it in is I try to throw it so that it hits another piece of wood. So the first couple I try to lay in there, and then I try to hit those pieces of wood so it's not hitting the bed of the truck. It stops the truck from getting banged up as bad as it could if I just chucked it. And I tried to be fairly close on the first few. Then I fill the front up and I work my way back. Now, when I am chucking, I do backspin. So I'll grab a piece like this, and if I'm throwing it from, I'll go over here and show you. If I was to throw it even from that side, but what I do is I spin the piece like this, so it backspins, and it usually falls right where it hits. I won't leave that like that because it's sticking up. And that brings up the other topic, is that when I'm loading, I try to get the pieces tucked in so they can't blow out. So the last, there you are, so the last bit that I put on over the top, I tried to put big chunks. I don't want a little thin wafer ones, which I do put in there, and I got some small ones, but I put the big chunks on top. And then I walk around, as you saw in the fast forward part there, and I kind of tuck them down in to make sure there's nothing sticking up that it can catch and fly out, because I have had that happen years ago, and we just throw it in and not check it. I always make sure all the sides, in case I hit a bump, something doesn't bounce out, fly down the highway and kill somebody. I don't want to have that happen. So I tried to get the load as secure as possible because I'm not going to be putting my tarp on this. I have a tonneau cover, and if I have this perfectly level thrown in loose, it's a face cord. But I always put a little extra in, a few extra armfuls. And I know it's always enough because when I get to the person's place and I back up to their rack, if they've got one of those 8-foot by 4-foot racks and we fill it up, I always have more wood than what is necessary because it needs to be 4 feet high, and I'm usually in the center 5 feet high with a little slope. So I know they're always getting a little bit extra. But starting out, like I said, throw the wood in I place it in the bottom, the first few pieces, and then aim for those pieces as you throw pieces. Backspin them as much as possible so that when they hit, they fall towards me, not bouncing farther. So there's that, and then putting the bigger pieces on top and then finishing the load off by tucking them down in and around, and it'll be good. Now the reason I'm using the truck, and I've said this lots of times also, is that this delivery is 40 miles away. And I back right into the guy's garage, which is the case for like 3 or 4 people that I deliver down in that area. They usually get a face cord at a time, which is fine, third of a cord for those of you on the East Coast. And they pay for the delivery. I get 60 bucks and the 120 for the wood. And they almost always, all the guys I deliver to down there tip me an extra 20 bucks because they know I'm coming from Appleton. But they like my wood, they know it's really good, they know it burns great, they know it's dry, and they trust me. Like the guy I'm gonna deliver to now, he's not even home. I just called him and he says, yep, just back into the garage, I'll have my wife open up the door and you can just throw it on the ground. So like this delivery, the last time I delivered to him was supposed to be 180 and he gave me 200 for a third of a cord or a face cord of wood, which a lot of you that I know in the comments make comments about how can you get that much wood? Well, there's people that get that all the time as their base price. I know that in like the DC area, I've got a couple guys there that I've talked to that told me that $600 for a full cord is the going rate. There's people that are in big cities like Chicago, Minneapolis, some of the bigger cities, even in the South, $600 to $700 for a full cord is kind of the going rate. But if you live in the middle of nowhere where there's no people and lots of trees, you ain't gonna get that because everybody's got chainsaws that lives out in the country. Everybody's got trees. Everybody's used to cutting their own wood. So lots of people, few trees, high prices. Lots of trees, few people, low prices. Okay, let's go dump this off. I'm back in the wood yard from that delivery, and as you saw, I chucked it out the back of the truck, and I did look at the timer on the camera because there's a timer on there when I push play. And when I got done, I looked, it was 4 minutes and 47 seconds that it took me to throw that off. And I wasn't going as fast as I could. My world record time is right around 4 minutes. I think like 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So it can chuck it off pretty darn quick. So then I got back to the yard now, and I just hooked up the trailer here. And when I walked back and turned the camera, I thought I never even looked in the envelope because the guy's wife handed me this envelope. I just stuck it in my pocket. So this is the unveiling. Let's see what's inside. Now it was $120, yeah, $120 for the wood, for the face cord, a third of a cord of mixed hardwood, and then $60 for delivery. So it should have been $180. And it was a successful rescue mission. We got some twins here. We got a couple bennies, 2 of them in there. So I got a $20 tip. So $200 for a third of a cord. That's pretty good, I think, but it did take me 35 minutes to drive down there, 35 minutes back, 5 minutes to chuck it off, so you got to get some money for doing that. So anyway, there we go. Now I just hooked up the trailer, and we're going to go do the next dump. This pile is going to get cut up. Adam's got tomorrow off and he said, hey, can I come cut wood? Absolutely, I said. And then we've got the wolf ridge right over here ready to go. So we're going to cut it and we should be able to get this done in, I don't know, hour and a half, something like that. Maybe even less if he's here helping. And then we're going to start up the Wolf Ridge 28C Magnum and we're going to split the wood right into the cherry bin here. And that's what's going to happen. And then after we get that done, there's some cherry over there that we might even bring over here and split that and put it right in. So it's a cherry day tomorrow. You got to come on back 5:30 a.m. with another video. Right now you're going to go watch all the other videos. There's 1,700 waiting for you. Good night, everybody.